I mean, Revere had informed us that they knew that the regulars were out. They had went out to check and see. When I heard so, by the time that they come to the town, everyone was there. So, most of them suspiciously. Yeah, and all men from the age of 16 to 64. So, and interestingly, Lexington, most of the towns had pushers and so the men did very quickly and really well. Lexington did not. This is a skyscraper. Maybe a little. They were all local, at least the ones that I know.
William, step. Come to the common.
Ready, please, sir.
In fact, died the same year of tuberculosis. But he was here.
I'm in sound the assembly. Dress on me, dress on me. Dress on me. Just line me from the bottom. Press on the drummer, press on the drummer. Fall in at order. Fall in at order.
Sergeant Monroe,
Sir,
have the clerk record the roll of the company.
as you would. Mr. Harrington, can you assist me? Clerk? Is the clerk here?
Record the roll of the company.
Sir. By the front rank, from left to right, sound your name.
Nathaniel Wyman. Reverend Jonas Clark.
William Monroe, Sergeant.
Captain John Parker.
Sir.
Men, we have not heard from our scouts any confirmation as to the movement of the regulars. You are to be dismissed, but be ready to muster at the sound of the drum. I shall return to Buckland Tavern to await word. Anyone entering the tavern must first discharge a firelock. Company, handle, arm! Rest your firelocks! Shoulder your firelocks! Prepare to be dismissed by the right about face!
That's the one. That's not the shot. That's the one. They had to discharge before they went into had to discharge the arm before you went into the tavern. You hear what he said? You go in the tavern, you must discharge your weapon.
Good morning. Thank you for coming to witness our portrayal of the first battle of the American Revolution. My name is Henry Liu, past Captain Commanding of the Lexington Minutemen. On behalf of the Lexington Minutemen and all the people of Lexington, it is a pleasure to welcome you here on this special day. 251 years ago, on the dawn of April 19, 1775, this common became the birthplace of American liberty, on a day very much like this. On the field today are the Lexington Minutemen, commanded by Captain Steve Cole, the Ladies Association of Revolutionary America, His Majesty's 10th Regiment of Foot, the 4th, 5th, and 52nd Regiment Light Infantry Companies, the 1st Foot Guards, and the 16th Light Dragoons. Now, let's set the stage. It is now 1775. There are no paved roads, flagpole, or statue. This is a small rural town west of Boston, settled as Cambridge Farms in 1642 and incorporated as the town of Lexington in 1713. In the years leading up to 1775, British Parliament imposed various taxes on its colonies, and tensions between England and the colonies grew steadily. King George III kept military forces in Boston to support the royal governor and to help contain the colonists' resentment. In December 1773, the Lexington Militia, also known as the Lexington Training Band, was under the command of Captain John Parker. They reaffirmed their resolve to fight for freedom and liberty by taking this pledge. We trust in God that should the state of our affairs require it, we shall be ready to sacrifice our estates and everything dear in life, yea, in life itself, in support of the common cause. By 1774, virtually every town's militia within 50 miles of Boston took similar oaths. A few of the towns had also become storage depots for gunpowder and military supplies. Concord, located just west of here, was one of those towns. On the night of the 18th, hundreds of British regulars traveled from Boston across the Charles River by boat to neighboring Cambridge, where they awaited distribution of rations before marching off to Concord. That delay allowed Paul Revere and William Dawes, who set out separately on horseback from Boston, to get a head start on the regular column. In addition to the head start, the regulars' steady pace of march once they got moving was no match for the speed of Revere and Dawes on horseback, who were swiftly moving throughout the darkness to alert local militia captains and others along the route that the British regulars were on the march. Revere arrived in Lexington around midnight, Dawes shortly thereafter, at the home of Reverend Jonas Clark, a short distance away from this common. Also at Clark's home were two house guests, John Hancock and Samuel Adams, who recently attended meetings of the Massachusetts Provincial Congress in Concord. Revere and Dawes delivered news from Joseph Warren and the Boston Committee of Safety that the regulars may seek to arrest these two patriots. Upon receiving the news of the regulars' advance, Captain Parker ordered the sounding of the alarm bell in the belfry, which originally stood here on the common, to notify the townspeople and militia of the imminent danger. What you saw earlier was a representation of this alarm, with Captain Parker assembling his men to warn them of the news he had just received about the approaching column of troops. After notifying his men, Parker allowed those living close by to return to their homes. Others remained on the common, and several retired to Buckman Tavern, which you can still see standing nearby. Those going inside the tavern discharged their weapons before going inside as directed by Captain Parker. While the men of Parker's company assembled on the town common, some women remained behind to safeguard their homes or to watch over loved ones who were unable to leave. But many of the women of Lexington evacuated their homes to keep their families safe from the impending danger of the advancing British column. As you are about to witness, women woke their children in the dead of night, hid valuables, carried what they could with them, and set off with their children to get out of harm's way. As they moved toward safety, many undoubtedly bid farewell to their fathers, husbands, and sons who were assembled on the common, not knowing if they would see them again. Listen closely, and you may hear those mothers waking their children.
Awake, Joshua. Come now, you must arise. Listen to me. Father has left to muster on the common with the other townsmen. The king's soldiers is marching from Boston. We must leave the house. Come, up now, son. Get dressed.
But Mother, I want to go be with Father.
I need your help here, son. Dress quickly. And then I want you to gather the silver in the trunk and bury it by the stone wall behind the barn. Bury it? Why? To be sure no one thinks they can take it. I will get your brothers and sisters ready. Go now.
Wake up, Sally. Wake up. We must be a-going. The alarm riders came through a short time ago, and they warned us that the regulars was marching from Boston, coming right here to Lexington.
Why are they coming here, Mama?
Hush now. We don't know their business, but we must get out of harm's way. Come, let us make haste, little one.
Anna, Lydia, wake now. Come, come. Put on your gowns. Then pack the bread and any other food that we can take with us. We must leave the house, and I know not for how long.
I'm worried about Father and Samuel. Will they be safe?
Yes, I'm sure they can take care of themselves, Anna. We must make haste, so we're well out of the way when the king's troops arrive. I will ready the baby. Lydia, take down the looking glass and hide it under the mattress.
Yes, Mother.
And Anna, get the money that's in the desk, then hide it among the potatoes in the root cellar. Quickly now, daughters! The soldiers will be here soon!
But Mother, where will we go?
Down the lane back of the house and across the meadow to the woodlot, so to be out of sight. Quickly now!
You have just witnessed a very poignant and personal moment between the men and women of colonial Lexington. They understood that each had an important role to play during this fearful moment of uncertainty. With great courage, the women of Lexington did all they could do to protect their homes and families in the face of grave danger. Throughout the night, Parker sent scouts on horseback towards Boston to watch for the movement of the regulars. One rider, Thaddeus Bowman, still remained nearby, waiting orders from Captain Parker.
Go back to the stables and inform Thaddeus Bowman that I wish to see him immediately.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Captain.
I'm earlier, and I feel not want to be surprised by their arrival. You must be ready.
I will do my very best. Thank you, sir.
No mic last time. No audio last time. It wasn't last time, it was just.
Earlier in the morning, after warning Hancock and Adams and riding to the west, Revere, Dawes, and a local physician, Samuel Prescott, whom they picked up along their travels, spied a patrol of British officers on horseback heading towards Lincoln. The patrol also spotted the riders and captured Revere. Shortly thereafter, they heard gunfire coming from Lexington, which actually were the men in Parker's company who were instructed to discharge their weapons before entering Buckman Tavern. Revere asserted to his captors that the gunfire was from hundreds of approaching militiamen, and his captors released him without his horse. Revere returned by foot to Lexington, where Hancock and Adams were preparing to evacuate to Captain Reed's home in Woburn 2nd Parish, now Burlington, and away from the column of British regulars heading this way. As we begin this reenactment, this is the scene. Some militia members are on the common, while others have returned home or are around.
Captain Parker, what is it? What's happening? Thaddeus, what's happening?
The regulars are coming down the road. I barely evaded them. They're almost upon us. They're beyond the rocks, sir.
Thaddeus, immediately.
I can.
You there, you three men, sound the alarm guns. Diamond, William Diamond, sound to arms. Start the road. Form the company on the common.
Straight away, sir. The regulars are out. They're down the road. Rest on me at order. Rest on me at order. Quickly, quickly. At order. At order. Quickly, men, quickly. Rest.
Captain Parker, shall we march to Concord to assist with the provincial stores?
No. Form here will delay their advance. Company, handle, arms! Rest your pilot. Show your pilots. Prime and load. Cousin Jonas, thank you for standing with us. Daddy, man. Prince. Company, support your violence. The first man who offers to run shall be shot! Steady, men! Steady! Stand your ground! Do not fire unless fired upon! Let the troops pass by and do not molest them without they being first! Lay down your arm. Lay down your arm. You will not run me off of my common. Damn you, will have you all. Battalion, Victor, bayonets. Quit the up firing! Sergeant, get these men back in rank! Look what you've done! Back in rank! Back in the corporal! You stop right there! I'm back in rank! Damn you! Who shot that man?
Hickon! What's going on here? Gideon Drummer!
My God!
Drummer rally!
Be gone!
Retard the ranks!
Reform. Oh, reform.
Rest of the drums! Get back on the drums!
Oh, we got it.
Who's that man Parsons? He was told not to fire upon them. Officers call! This is a disgrace. You should not be firing on these people. Parsons! General Gage has given us orders to march on to Concord to investigate for ammunition they are storing. We will move on to Concord.
And that's when they got picked up. Yeah.
I understand your concern, but I have my orders and I will follow them. Return to ranks. Battalion! Forward, everyone! Victory! Elevating! Present! Fire! Hillcock forward! Joler forward! Jump! 10! Designated 3 cheers for His Majesty! 3 cheers for His Majesty King George! Huzzah! 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 Battalion was on! Like companies from the right, from the center, advance! March! March!
The battle is over, but there's more to see. Parker and his militia have quit the field, but for them and many others, the day is still young. Major Lomi Baldwin and his Woburn militia were on their way to the alarm and heard the gunfire in the distance. Arriving here on the heels of the regulars' departure, Lomi will recall, "I was near Jacob Reed's and I heard a great firing. We proceeded on as fast as possible and came to Lexington and saw about 8 or 10 dead and numbers wounded. 8 colonists in fact lay dead here, while 10 were wounded and helped off the field." The dead colonists after this battle were John Brown, Samuel Hadley, Caleb Harrington, Jonathan Harrington Jr., Robert Monroe, Isaac Muzzy, Jonas Parker, and Asahel Porter. These casualties were placed in the meeting house that morning by their family, neighbors, and comrades. Elijah Sanderson would report, "I returned to the meeting house and saw to the dead. I assisted in carrying some of the dead into the meeting house. Later in the day, the dead were moved and buried in a shallow grave, covered with heaps of brush to hide them from the regulars should they return." By the time the regulars arrived in Concord, militias from there and surrounding communities were waiting in defiance of the regulars' advance. Upon meeting with this resolve, the British regulars were forced to retreat back to Boston. Meanwhile, realizing that the British troops will return once again to Lexington, the women, children, elderly, and sick of the town will be forced to flee to safety again. The roads of Lexington became clogged with women and children unsure of where to go. Some Lexington women remained behind, risking their lives by exposing themselves again to the dangers of war. Rebecca Fisk and her family would flee as the redcoats approached. Moments later, hand-to-hand combat would erupt outside her homestead. Anna Monroe would wait until the last minute to abandon the family tavern. Her then 4-year-old daughter would later recall how her mother toward Concord to meet the British colony once again. According to local tradition, company fifer Jonathan Harrington played the Jacobite tune, "The White Cockade," as they marched toward the retreating British colony. What you are about to witness is Parker rallying his men, which took place only but a few short hours after that bloody fight.
Sergeant Monroe,
Sir?
form the company.
Sir. Rest on me. Rest. Rest on me. At order. Quickly, quickly. Quickly, men. At the order. Quickly, men, quickly.
Sergeant Monroe, read the orders.
Right away, sir. Attention to orders. Resolved on December 16, 1774 by the Massachusetts Provincial Congress, John Hancock President. Each soldier to provide himself with a good firearm, a steel, wood or iron ramrod, and a spring for same, a worm, a priming wire and brush, a bayonet fitted to his gun, a scabbard and belt thereof, a cutting sword, or tomahawk, or hatchet, a cartridge box holding 15 rounds, at least, 100 buckshot, 6 flints, 1 pound of powder, 40 lead balls fitted to the gun, a knapsack and blanket, and a canteen or wooden bottle to hold 1 quart of water. Failure to obey this resolution can result in the assessment of a fine. Orders have been read, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant. Lieutenant Tidd, inspect the men, make sure they're properly equipped and armed.
Sir. Men, handle arms. Rest your firelocks. Shoulder your firelocks. One rank. 3 paces to the front. March. Captain, the men are inspected and are fully equipped and armed.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Rear rank, close to the front, march! Rescue rank, violence. Order your violence. Ease arms, clasp hands. Rest. Reverend Clark.
Brothers, patriots, it was only hours ago that 8 brave men lay dead and others gravely wounded on this very ground. The innocent blood of our brethren makes this soil a hallowed place for us.
The Yankees fight!
Captain, we've no word from Colonel Gardner. Where are we marching to?
We're marching to Pine Hill, near the Nelson and Hastings homes. We'll set up an ambush there and warmly greet the regulars as they return from Concord.
Yeah.
Pile ups! Show the order! Pile ups! Company will advance by files from the right to the right face!
Captain Parker's company marched to the town's border, shared with Lincoln to ambush the retreating regulars. As His Majesty's forces approached, the Lexington men would unleash a deadly musket volley across the front of the column. The regulars would counterattack, resulting in 2 more Lexington deaths, Jedediah Monroe and Nathaniel Wyman. In the aftermath of Parker's revenge, Captain Parker and his men would continue to